Hello everyone, good morning. I'll give everybody a chance to join. This is Hannah with YogiMe for 1 hour, 9 a.m. Saturday. We're also doing this during the week, Tuesday, Thursday at 6 for a 45-minute class. We've got one person. That's always nice to see. We'll give everybody a minute here. It takes a minute for the notification to go out too that we're live. Got about 2 minutes before class starts. You want to grab some water, get yourself situated on a mat. Hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. We've got Luna here. This is kind of her room that I'm teaching in. Good morning, yogis. Hi, Mike. How's it going? Alright, we'll get started here. Looks like just a few people have joined, so thank you for joining live. As always, we post these videos afterwards too if you want to go back and watch them whenever or share them with other people. That's always an option, and I appreciate you guys doing that. So we'll just get started in a seated position. Just a comfortable cross-legged seat will work. And just make sure you're nice and comfortable. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Make sure your sit bones have a nice connection with the earth. Sit up nice and tall. You can bring the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And your shoulder blades together and down. Gently. And once your spine is nice and tall, and your bones are stacked, you can kind of release your muscles and just gently sit up. And then as always, as we start class, we'll bring our mind to meet our body, just meaning that if your thoughts are elsewhere, if they are thinking about something that happened earlier in the week, earlier in the day, you're thinking about something that needs to happen afterwards, just pull your mind in to check in with your body at the present moment, here and now, on your mat. And one way you can do that is to bring the focus to your breath. Breathing is something we do automatically that we don't ever think about. So bringing our attention and our awareness to our breath just kind of helps us think about how our body's feeling in the present moment And if you haven't already, you can begin to close your eyes and maybe deepen your breath. Fully inhaling and fully exhaling. Drawing the air down deep into the bottom of your lungs. And notice how that causes your ribcage to expand and contract. Maybe your belly starts to expand and contract. And together we'll take a couple of lion's breath. So you're inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And you can stick out your tongue and you can make it an audible exhale. Just kind of releasing any like extra tension or stress, or just it's kind of a stress relieving breath, I think. So on your next deep inhale, inhale through your nose to the very bottom of your lungs, and exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, nice and deep. Exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale, nice and deep. Exhale through your mouth. And then go back to your normal deep breathing. In and out through your nose. Apologies for my cat, she'll probably be making some noise here. But on your next inhale, we'll start to connect some breath to movement. So on your inhale, you can circle your arms up overhead. Bring your palms to touch, and then exhale as you bring your hands back out to your sides. Inhale, scoop your arms up, overhead. Exhale, hands to your sides. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale as you twist to the right. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Sit up nice and tall. And twist from your spine. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to left knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Ring out your lungs. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, your hands back down to your sides. Let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. And then bring your right hand to your left ear. Not pulling down on your neck, just adding a little bit of extra weight. And then release your right hand back down to the mat. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And then bring your left hand to your right ear. Then release your left hand back down to the mat. Shrug your shoulders, bring your shoulders towards your ears. And then release, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And then shrug your shoulders, bring them up towards your ears. And then release. Pulling your shoulders down, away from your ears. And then one more time, shrug them up. And then release, pulling your shoulders down, away from your ears. And then reach your right arm up, and then we will lean over to the left. And send a few breaths to the right side of your body, to your right lung. And then inhale as you reach both arms up. Exhale as you drop your right hand, reach over with your left. Send a few breaths to the left side of your body, to your left lung. And then inhale, both arms back up. And exhale as you bring your hands to the floor. Walk your hands out. And then we'll come into a child's pose. So uncross your ankles, bring your big toes together, and sink your hips back towards your heels. Still actively reaching forward with both hands. And drawing your chest down towards the mat. And take a few breaths here. And then tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips up high, coming into downward facing dog. So use all 10 fingers, spread your fingers wide, and press the mat away. You can keep a generous bend in your knees here to really lengthen the spine. Let your heels fall back towards the mat. Scoop your tailbone up. And take a few breaths here. And then bend your right knee, drop your right knee down on the mat. Turn your left foot so that it's firmly planted. And reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. So stacking your shoulders here, stacking your hips, opening up that hip. Opening up your chest. Inhale as you reach up, and then exhale, reach your left hand over your left ear. Creating a nice long line between your left fingertips and the outside edge of your left foot. And then inhale, reach your left hand back up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as you set your left hand down on the mat. Reach your left leg up. And reach your right hand forward. So really reaching with that right hand, kicking back with your left foot. And then inhale, see if you can lift your limbs a little bit higher. And exhale, set everything back down. Tuck your toes underneath, lift your hips up high. Coming into downward facing dog. Scooping your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Letting a little bit of heat build here. And then bend your left knee, set your left knee down on the mat. Turn your right foot so that it's firmly planted. And reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Stacking your shoulders and stacking your hips. Making sure your right foot has a nice firm connection with the mat. And opening up your chest. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And then exhale, reach your right hand forward over your right ear. Fully lengthening the right side of your body. And then inhale your right hand back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, set your right hand down. Lift your right leg up. And reach your left hand forward. So really lengthening here, reaching forward with your left hand, kicking back with your right foot. Lengthening and reaching. Then inhale, see if you can lift your limbs a little bit higher. And then exhale, set everything back down. Tuck your toes underneath. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And we'll take 5 breaths here. And then look forward, bend your knees. Take a couple baby steps up to the front of the mat. And then lift up halfway. Bringing the crown of your head forward. Reaching your tailbone back. Lengthening between your vertebrae. And then fold forward. Let your head and your neck hang. You can bend your knees as much as you would like to. And then walk your fingertips over to the right. And then walk your fingertips over to the left. And back over to the right. And then back over to the left. Walk your fingers back to center. Inhale halfway again. And exhale as you fold. Bend your knees and then reach all the way up. Look up, maybe take a little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale as you bring your hands back to your sides. Shoulders are coming away from your ears, shoulder blades come together and down. Your thighs are activated, kneecaps pulling up. All 4 corners of your feet have a firm connection with the mat. Fingertips pulling down. For Tadasana, belly button pulls in. And then inhale, reach up. Look up. And then exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale as you plant your hands, step back into plank. And hold here for a moment. Make sure you have a nice straight line between the crown of your head and the soles of your feet. And then rock forward on your toes slightly. Bend your elbows, keep your elbows hugged in, and then slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Straighten your elbows just until your body tells you to stop. Keeping your thighs down on the mat. Shining your heart forward. And then bring your chin back down to the mat. Tuck your toes underneath. Press up to plank. And then lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And we'll take that sun salutation, the sequence of poses we just did. We'll do that a couple more times, but a little bit more sped up. So I encourage you to follow your breath. You don't have to go at the same pace I go. We'll just meet in our down dog. So when you're ready, look forward, bend your knees. Take a step or a hop to the front of the mat and lift up halfway. Inhale. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend your knees and reach up. Stand up. Maybe take a back bend. And then exhale, Tadasana, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. And exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale to your upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, and take 5 breaths here. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, look forward, take a step or a hop to the front of the mat, lift up halfway, inhale, exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up, stand up, inhale, exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pinch your hands, step or hop back to plank and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And when you're ready, bend your knees, look forward. Take a step or a hop to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you plant your hands, step back into plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And 5 breaths here. And when you're ready, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling and step your right foot up in between your hands. Drop your left knee down, untuck your left toes, walk your hands up to your right thigh and bring your hips forward. Pausing here for a stretch. And then bring your hands back to the floor, frame your right foot, tuck your left toes underneath, lift your left knee and reach up, crescent lunge. So right knee is bent, you're on the ball of your left foot. And then bend your elbows, come into cactus arms, spread your chest open, and look up, take a back bend here. Look up towards the ceiling, see if you can trace a line on the ceiling, as far back as you can go. And then when you're ready, lift back up, reach your arms back up, bring your pinkies in towards each other for your crescent lunge. And we'll do that one more time. So bend your elbows, come into cactus arms, and look up, take a back bend. Still staying strong in your left leg. And then lift back up, reach up, pinkies turn in towards each other. And then spin your left heel down. Open up to a T, warrior two. So I'll turn to face you guys. So the outside edge of your left foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Right toes point forward. Sink down into your hips. And gaze over your right middle finger. And then drop your left hand, reach your right arm up. Reverse warrior. You can even reach your left hand behind you and reach for the front of the room. And then bring your right elbow to your right knee. Reach your left hand up and over. Side angle pose. So you're creating a straight line between your left fingertips and the outside edge of your left foot. And then use your core lift back up, warrior two, and cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot, step your right foot back into plank, and we'll go through a flow, or you can meet us in downward facing dog. So chaturanga, lower to the floor, cobra, or up dog, and exhale to your down dog. And take 5 breaths here. And then reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot up in between your hands. And lift up. Oh, sorry. Drop your right knee down, untuck your right toes. Walk your hands to your left knee. And bring your hips forward. Pausing here for a stretch. And then bring your hands back down to the floor, tuck your right toes underneath, lift your right knee, and lift all the way up to your crescent lunge. Left knee is bent, you're on the ball of your right foot. Reaching up through your fingertips, and drop your shoulders away from your ears. And then bend your elbows, coming into cactus arms. Look up and take a back bend. And breathe. And then lift back up, reach your arms up, pinkies turn in towards each other. Crescent lunge. And then bend your elbows, open up your chest, cactus arms, look up, take a back bend. And then lift back up, reach up, pinkies turn in towards each other, shoulders away from your ears. And then spin that right heel down, open up to a T, warrior two. Gazing forward over your left middle finger, sink your hips down towards the floor. And then drop your right hand down to your right thigh, reach your left arm up, reverse warrior. You can even take that right hand back behind you and reach forward. Breathe into your left ribs. Left elbow to your left knee. Reach your right arm up, overhead, side angle pose. Create a nice long line between your right fingertips and the outside edge of your right foot. And use your core as you lift back up, warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot, step your left foot back into plank, and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And once again, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. Step your right foot up in between your hands. Drop your left knee, untuck your left toes. Walk your hands to your right knee. Pause for a stretch. And then bring your hands to the floor. Tuck your left toes underneath, lift your left knee, and lift up, crescent lunge. Cactus arms, look up, take a back bend. And then lift back up, crescent lunge. Cactus arms, back bend, and lift back up. Spin your left heel down, open up to a T, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, left hand to left thigh, reach your right arm up. Left hand can come behind you. Right elbow to right knee, reach your left arms up. Side angle pose. Use your core, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to plank and go through a flow. Chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Reach your left leg up towards the ceiling and step your left foot up in between your hands. Drop your right knee, untuck your right toes. Walk your hands to your left knee and pause for a stretch. Bring your hips forward. Tuck your tailbone underneath. And then bring your hands to the floor, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Lift up, crescent lunge. Bend your elbows, cactus arms, take a back bend. And lift back up. Cactus arms, look up, take a back bend. Open your chest. And then reach up. Crescent lunge. Spin your right heel down, open up to a T, warrior two. Drop your right hand to your right thigh. Reach your left arm up, reverse warrior. Bring your right hand behind you. And then left elbow to left knee. Reach your right arm up and forward. Side angle pose. Use your core, come back to warrior two. Sink your hips down. And then cartwheel your hands to frame your left foot. Step your left foot back into plank. And chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Scoop your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Press with all 10 fingers. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then drop your knees wide. Bring your big toes to touch. Sink your hips back. Child's pose. And take a few breaths here. Maybe grab a sip of water. And then start to walk your hands forward until your hips are over your knees. Bring your knees in so that they're about hip distance. Still walk your hands forward and drop your heart towards the floor. So melt your heart down. For puppy pose. Scoop your tailbone up. You can rest your forehead on the mat. And if this pose is easy, you can drop your chin to the mat. And then drop to your forearms. And then drop your hips down so you're in Sphinx pose. Your elbows are just underneath your shoulders. And you're using the pads of your fingers to grip onto the mat. And pull your chest forward through your arms. Your neck is in line with your spine. So you should be gazing down and forward slightly. And then release, slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath and press to plank. And then lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And then walk your hands towards your feet until you're in your forward fold. And then round your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Lift all the way up to standing. Letting your head come last. And once you reach the top of once you reach standing, roll your shoulders back a few times. And then you can bring your hands to heart center. Bring your weight into your right foot. And then bring your left knee out, letting your heel peel up and rest on your right ankle. So you can kickstand here. We're going to come into tree pose. You can kickstand here. It's perfectly fine. Or you can bring your left foot to your right calf. Or you can help it along to the inside of your left thigh, your right thigh. But wherever you are, you're pressing your foot into your leg, press your leg into your foot. And then once you feel stable, you can start to grow your branches, coming into your full tree. However you want to grow your branches is up to you. You can just reach out and up. You can bring your palms together. You can interlace your fingers and point up. You can even come back to our cactus arms. However you want to take your tree pose is up to you. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands back to heart center. Step your left foot back down to meet your right. Take a couple baby chair poses just to reset everything. And then bring your weight into your left foot. Let your right heel peel up off the mat. Turn your right knee out. And you can kickstand your right heel here. Or you can bring your right foot to your calf or help it along to the inside of your left thigh. And wherever you are, you're pressing your foot into your leg, pressing your leg into your foot. And once you feel stable, start to grow your branches however you see fit. It doesn't have to be the same as the right side. If you would like a bit more of a challenge, you can look up. Or maybe even try closing your eyes. And then when you're ready, bring your hands back to heart center. Step your right foot back down to meet your left. And take some baby chairs. And then circle your arms up overhead. Inhale and exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale as you plant your hands, step your feet back into plank. And hold in plank. Pressing the mat away with all 10 fingers. Just getting a nice touch to our core. And then hover your right toes up off the mat. And set your right toes down, lift your left toes, hover. And set your left toes back down. Lift your hips up high. Downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. And step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Coming into lizard pose. So drop to your left knee and tuck your left toes. And you can stay here if this is enough of a stretch. I think it would be for most people. But if you would like to, if you want to feel a little bit more of a stretch, you can drop down to your forearms. Bringing your chest to the inside of your right thigh. Just find a pose that works for you, that's challenging but sustainable for a minute or two. And don't forget to breathe. These hip openers really pair well with deep exhales. Just a few more breaths here. And then if you haven't already, come back up to your palms. Tuck your left toes underneath. Lift your left knee. And then slowly and gently step your right foot back to meet your left. And lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take a pause here. And then lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. And drop your right knee. Untuck your right toes. And then again, you can stay here up on your palms. Or you can drop to your forearms. Finding a pose that works for you, that's challenging but sustainable. And then once you've kind of gotten the pose that's right for you, and you've gotten your wiggles out, see if you can commit to stillness just for a few minutes. Again, using those nice deep exhales. Just a few more breaths here. And then if you're not already, come all the way up to your palms. Tuck your right toes underneath, lift your right knee. And slowly and gently step your left foot back to meet your right. And then lift your hips up high. Downward facing dog. Last one of the class. And then when you're ready, bend your knees. Drop your knees down to the mat. Cross your ankles deeply. Come into seated. And then scoot forward until you have room to lay all the way down on your backs. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice tight hug. Continue hugging your right knee in. Send your left leg out long. And drop your left leg to the mat. Bring your right hand out to a T. And use your left hand to guide your right knee over to the left. Coming into a reclined twist. If you would like to, you can look towards the right. And then bring your right knee back up to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Keep your left knee hugged in. Reach your right leg out long. Set your right leg on the mat. Bring your left hand to a T. And then use your right hand to guide your left knee over to the right. And if you would like to, you can look to the left. And then guide your left knee back into center. Hug both knees into your chest. And then grab the outsides of your feet with both hands and reach the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. And draw your knees in towards your armpits, coming into happy baby. You have the option to gently rock side to side. And then maybe see how it would feel if you tried to straighten your legs. Just gently. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, give yourself a nice tight hug. And lift your shoulders up off the mat. Start to squeeze yourself into a tight ball, the tightest you can. Squeeze everything, squeeze your toes, squeeze your fists, squeeze your face. And then release. And we'll set up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Traditionally, it's taken just laying flat down on your back, palms facing up. But you can bend your knees, you can knock your knees together. You can even take this sitting up if that's preferred. But wherever you are, start to release any extra tension, starting with the muscles in your face. Release your jaw. Release the space in between your eyebrows. Release your temples. Release your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And then start to relax your shoulders. Relax your chest. Let your hips and your legs feel heavy. Let your feet flop open. Let your entire body feel heavy as you notice the ground supporting you. And if you're holding on to any extra tension, now is a good time to start to let it go. And for a few moments, remain in this peaceful state until I call you back. And then start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe start to roll your wrists and your ankles. Take any movement here that feels natural to wake yourself back up. And then when you're ready, roll into the right side of your body, hugging your knees in towards your chest and using your bicep as a pillow. Take a few breaths here. And then using your arms, press yourself up into a comfortable seated position, similar to how we started class. And on an inhale, circle your arms up overhead. Bring your palms to touch, and then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Bringing your thumbs in towards your sternum. Tuck your chin slightly. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. The light and love in me honors and acknowledges the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all soon. Bye.